So what are some things you can do with the Riff Ruler? Well, first, you can learn all your major and minor pentatonic modes in every key. You can learn all possible chord voicings, including making your own, and as well as exploring chord extensions. You can work with building your own triads. You can make your own notes and use it to transcribe to different keys. There's a lot you could do. You could put a chain on it and wear it as a necklace. The first slide you probably want to try is the tonic slide. This slide is going to give you an asterisk on the note that is in the keyhole here. We can see on our fretboard that our frets are numbered at the top, and the low E string is labeled with the note names beneath the string. When we choose a note, we also have corresponding intervals. We can see that the perfect fifth of the C tonic is an F, and the perfect fifth is a G. We have the guitar here in the position that you'll be looking at it when you're looking down from the fretboard. That means you have the guitar's nut up here, which is the head of the guitar. The open strings are labeled here, and the body of the guitar will be down here. When we go to add a slide in, make sure that this star is in the upper right-hand corner. You can see that's also on the face of the Riff Ruler. If you have it upside down or backwards, it's not going to sound like you want it to sound. So if we put this in, put things back on C, what we will see is a bunch of circled notes. These notes are the notes that are included in the scale that it's indicating. So right now we have Ionian, which is the major scale, and so this is the C major scale, C Ionian scale. And we also still have our asterisks showing where that tonic note is across the entire fretboard. We also have these lines blanked out here so we can see the intervals that are included in that scale. We also have majors and minors here. These all correspond to the harmonization of the scale. So in the C major scale, we have D minor, E minor, F major, B diminished. What we can do is, if we move one of these slides by itself, for example, if we move the tonic slide, the one with the keyhole, we can see that with all the exact same notes, we have a relative mode. So we can see that the C major has all the same notes as the A Aeolian, which is the natural minor scale. So we can see how that moves again if we push that back. In a similar way, if we want to see different modes of the C scale, we can look at parallel mode, everyone's favorite scale, C Locrian, for all of our Locrian music amps. What this means is that with these two slides, you can have and find every scale, you can find every mode of every scale, and it is shown across the entire fretboard. So we can plug this in and practice our soloing, our improvisation. If we want to memorize this, it makes it a lot easier to memorize the shapes, knowing that they are movable, and the only thing we have to be concerned about is where that tonic lays within the pattern. Diatonic is way too many notes. You can also throw in the pentatonic here. Down in the box that used to show the mode, it's going to tell you the we generally call that the scaled position. So that's the major first or minor second position. And it'll show you all the different positions on all the different scales in the same way that the diatonic does. Next we have the minor triad. What we can see is we have the A highlighted, and that means we're seeing A minor chords across the entire fretboard. We have the circle, which indicates the root note. We have a triangle pointing downwards to be the minor third. We have a star that indicates the perfect fifth. So if we're looking to play a chord, all we have to do is find a grouping of the 3 notes that we want to include, and if we play those on the fretboard, we're going to have a different chord voicing. Similarly, this can also be used for practicing your triad or arpeggio shapes. In addition to the minor, we also have the major triad. Now, instead of the minor third, we have a major third. So the major third is pointing in the up direction. We still got perfect fifth. Another thing that we can take into account there, if we want to know what that perfect third of a C major is, this still corresponds. So we know that the major third of C is going to be an E, and the perfect fifth is going to be a G. Those are your 2 probably most important core triads. But in addition, we can also throw in here, we have the diminished triad, and that's going to have a minor third and a diminished fifth. So instead of the E, you have 1 half step down, and that is going to be your tritone, which is given by an X. And if we're going to get really weird, we can also have the augmented, which is an augmented fifth, which is a step, half step sharp from the perfect fifth with a major third. These are kind of interesting. You can kind of, they're called symmetrical chords or symmetrical triads. So you can see that both of these, even though they aren't used as often, they do have some symmetry in terms of how they look, which is kind of cool. And of course, music theory is only for nerds, so let's build something that rocks. Let's do some power chords. So if we have the tonic in, what we're going to do is we're going to use some of these single note slides. We're going to add 2 together. We're going to put 1 on the root and 1 on the perfect fifth. And there we can see we have our power chord across the entire fretboard. So any different voicing of that. We can see we got those stacked notes, stacked fourths. The fifth is a fourth going to. It's too much. All you need to know is that it rocks. It rocks really hard. So you just went to a John Mayer concert, and there were a lot of cute girls there, so you decided you wanted to play the blues. But there isn't a blues slide. But that's okay, because what we can do is we can take our pentatonic slide, and we can just add our additional note. I'm using the blue note because you should use the blue note when you're going to highlight the blue note, which is the tritone. And you can add that note to your pentatonic scale, and then you can rock out on some blues. Now all you got to do is take your minor triad and add a minor seventh, and that gives you an extended chord. So this is a C minor seventh chord. And look at that, you're playing jazz now. Please make sure not to put more than 5 slides in at once. You can't really, it doesn't really help you at all. And when you use the magnets, it can damage the hinge at the bottom. So stick to 5. You probably don't need any more than that. Now there is something interesting. What's this on the back of the Riffruler? Yeah, this is just nonsense. This doesn't mean anything. Yeah, you can ignore that. Just a little behind the scenes. My name is Andrew. I've been working on this project for probably about 2 years now. I think I've come up with something that's very durable, high quality. It will last somebody learning guitar for a long time. It comes in a nice box case that's going to help protect it. And you'll be able to get many, many hours of enjoyment and education out of it. I do know that my market is to musicians, and I understand for musicians money can be tight, and that is why I have offered an entirely full version um, of a printable version at riffruler.com. You might be prompted for a donation, but um, I understand. I understand what life's like. So you can print off these on transparencies. If you go to Kinko's, they can help you print these out. Just make sure that um, the scaling factor is the same for both of these. So all the information that is in the Riff Ruler can also be downloaded and printed off for your own use for free. So please enjoy, please make music, and let me listen to it. Thank you very much.